Hey, what's going on, man?
What'd you do? What happened to our intro? I gotta go back and play the intro. I like that right there, man. thirdmindrei.com. Now I feel complete. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Wherever you guys are in the world, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. We got people jumping in. We got people in the comments. Thanks, guys. What's up, Angel Miller? You guys don't know Angel. She is literally a freaking angel. And she closed on her a deal this week.
That is true. Congratulations again. Actually. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Congratulations.
I need one of those Brent Daniels bells that I can just ring. I freaking love that. Angel is
need to bring working. Angel. I just thought about it. We should bring Angel on one of these weeks to have her discuss from beginning to end how she acquired that and what that looks like. I think that'd be great.
Well, she's working on a sub 2 right now that she's going to either wrap or lease option, which is neat because that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today, guys.
Amazing. Phenomenal. Angel, you're amazing. You deserve it. You truly deserve it. I'm not for sure what the details are, what that looks like, but specifically, I know you as an individual, you genuinely work hard on a daily basis, working towards your goals, and that's exciting to hear. Super
I wish Angel knew how many times her name was being said in a good way. Like Angel, we genuinely love you, and we just think the world of you. Like we talk about you all the time.
Absolutely.
Think you're freaking amazing. Nicole, absolutely. So amazing to see you. Happy Saturday to you as well. Thank you for the intro. I don't know if Chris and I both clicked it or what happened, but it didn't feel complete without playing the intro. So I'm glad you guys got it. We're actually, we've got some news. So glad you liked the intro. Hope you like the new one too.
Oh, too funny.
Rebels Haven in Alaska. What's up, Joe? Thanks for being here, homie. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys, for being here. We truly appreciate everyone here. Showing up very consistently and faithfully. We truly appreciate that. We're definitely going to be doing a pivot, which is going to be phenomenal for a lot of people because we're trying to reach a broader audience in a different platform, so everyone can actually receive the value we're trying to give, and also bring a lot of special guests. Over the next couple months, we got a pretty neat agenda what we're trying to do and what that looks like. You guys I think you guys gonna get some value from it, in my opinion, but more so a lot of neat guests. A lot of them you may not know, and other mentorships as well-known individuals. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Nicole, congratulations, Angel. Those who are just joining, we are on YouTube, Facebook, and StreamYard Live. If you're in there as well, guys, we may be pivoting to StreamYard Live to have everyone in one central location. So I just want to let you guys know that as well. So StreamYard, you will have to register with your first name, last name, your email, so you don't miss. I know sometimes the time zones could vary depending on specifically where you're at. I know everyone's watching all around the world, so it's coming from different areas, and that's totally fine, right? It's just more so we want to put everyone in one centralized location due to the fact of we want you guys to squad up with each other. We want you guys to be working with each other. I know it's a lot of people I'm looking at right now. They're on YouTube, some are on Facebook, someone's on Jesse's page, some on Jesse's group, and we want everyone in one location, and you guys can all squad up so everyone can work with each other, whatever that may look like. So we're definitely moving in that direction. Just want to give you guys a heads up. And what's going on, Evan? Good to see you here. What's going on? We see Kevin. Kevin, good to see you back, man. Let's see. So I just also another update. I'm not for sure if you guys got the updated email. Our email is info@thirdmindrei.com. So a lot of people are, I think, still sending it to our original one. We did recently switch that over.
I think we have a. Do we got a?
Yeah.
Oh, there. Nope, that was lending. Oh, nope, there it is.
I got you, man.
Cool. So you guys should be able to see that email scrolling across the bottom. If you guys have anything, if you need anything, that is the email to use. Happy to help in any way we can, guys. But like Chris said, this is like the beginning and the end of a new chapter for Chris and I. So we're kind of moving away from the Elephant Show, and we'll be coming out with a new brand, new podcast, new intro. Yep. Thank you, Nicole. I'm glad you liked the intro. I liked it as well. So I'm excited for this new chapter, this new phase. We'll be getting into a lot of different things with this new one. So I'm really, really excited for it. We're going to be having announcements. We're going to be having a Facebook group. So literally anything and everything you guys would ever need to facilitate a deal, whether that's your first deal or your 10,000th and first deal. That's what this group, this community is going to be for. And we, like Chris said, we want to be able to take the resources that we have, including this podcast, and bring you guys up and showcase you. And if you guys need anything, get in here, be active in the comments. Let us highlight you. Let us put you on here. Jake, thanks for being here, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Good seeing you, man. Yeah, let's see. Oh, actually. So yeah, what Kevin's talking about right here is the Astral Call. I was on was it Tuesday or Wednesday? One of the days.
Chris, like share some of that, dude. Let's start this off with some good news. This is freaking dope. I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate it, man. So as some of you guys may or may not know, actually, we have a transaction coordinated business, right? And we have expanded that not just for the sub-2 community, but also, the free community, but we expanded to, in-house realtors, agencies, and now, Jamil, we expanded to his community, and it's going to be pretty neat as far as what's coming up. I don't want to spill every single thing, but just to let you know, there's some exciting news coming with the Astro community, along with TTP. Transparently, TTP is next. We got a call with Mr. Brent Daniels himself in a few days, so I'm pretty excited about that.
The man, the myth.
Yeah.
See if we can get his bell on loaner while you're talking.
So, guys, if you needed transaction coordinating work or any work related, whatever that specifically may look like, our company is growing, expanding. We're hiring and training more so specifically within that division to make sure we can assist you guys in whatever that looks like, because we want to provide 24/7 support. Monday through Sunday, whatever that looks like specifically. I know for a fact that right now I don't want to our own horn, but we're doing an amazing job. I'm very happy with the team we have. I'm very happy to be surrounded by the individuals that are, helping us facilitate this process. And I just want to say thank you to Jamil, Pace, even Cody Sperber, just their communities alone. They've been helping push this along, and other agents as well. So thank you again, guys. And
now, Chris, real quick, you mentioned you guys are hiring, you're building this TC thing out. Are you guys like, if anybody wants to get into TCing, can they come work for you, or what does that look like? Or anybody who, like, when anybody reaches out to me and they're like, hey, Jesse, I want to learn how to buy houses for free, or I want to learn how to be a TC. My first advice is like, hey, I think that's amazing, first and foremost. And when you want to learn something, the quickest and the fastest way to go do something is to go approach somebody that's already doing what you want to be doing and say, hey, absolutely, I want to work for you. I'll work for you for free. I want to, lead with value. And this is what I'm good at. This is what I want to learn. I'm willing to help you make money, as long as, I can take some of that education as well, and maybe commit to a year or something like that with somebody. But do you guys already have people in place for growing yours, or?
Absolutely, man. So we are looking to hire. We do have people in place currently right now who are doing a phenomenal job. We're rapidly growing with our new introduction of promotional packages. Just to give you guys an example, 5, 8, 12. You're doing 5 to 8, 12 deals a month, or even a year, whatever that specifically look like. Those are the clients we're gravitating towards. So essentially, if you're willing to take time, dedication, and really understand paperwork, verbiage of different states, counties. And again, we work in all 50 states. So I do want to mentally prepare you for that specifically, because a lot of people don't understand that, okay, it's great to know one market, but with doing transaction coordinating, our business, we do all 50 markets. 46 of them. We closed in over 18 as of last Thursday. Closed assessment in 18 states. We work in all 50 states. For the states, we got to self-perform in. So it's just the fact of, I just want to let you guys know, if you really looking to learn about TC, just transaction coordinating, or what the paperwork looks like and all that good stuff, please feel free to reach out. We're always hiring. We're always looking for action takers. We're not going to hire anyone. If just because you come to us and tell us, hey, Jesse, I want to be a transaction coordinator, that don't mean transparently you may not have what it takes to be a transaction coordinator, and that's totally fine. That's not your avatar. It may be something else. And sometimes a lot of people like to just test it out, test the waters out, see exactly what's that a great fit, and that's totally fine. Did I ever want to become a transaction coordinator and own a business with a transaction coordinator business? No, not at all. But I do. It's just the way the world works out, and I'm just very thankful and humble enough to be around the right individuals. And thank you again, Jesse, by the way, just being a great friend, business partner, and all that.
Thank you. I appreciate the bromance. It has been a phenomenal year for us, dude.
Absolutely. And morning, good to see you, Terry. Good to see you, Angel. Can't wait to see it unfold. You guys, Roxa, thank you, Angel. Angel, you will be part of that. Hint, hint. So mentally, you need to be prepared for that conversation. Oh, let's see what else we got here. I work for free for you guys just experience. Yeah, whatever that may look like specifically, it's all about learning, growing, and I really truly want to see everyone around us be successful. I truly mean that. With I don't know how, in other words, I can express that. I really mean that. And Jesse mean what he says all the time, because he's very. One thing I really appreciate about Jesse, and one thing I know I got to get better at, is Jesse is extremely active. Right, he's extremely active in all aspects, whether that's social media, his family. Perfect example. Late last night, he's actually with his family. They went to a dinner. They went to I think they went bowling. They had a great time and all that stuff. At the same time, as he's bowling, he's on the phone with me trying to put out fires for another situation we got going on with the property. I truly think that's dedication. A lot of people won't be able to multitask and try to handle that. And I stated like 6 or 7 times, I kid you not, be with your family, spend time with your family. He said, no, dude, I got it. He's on the phone, like, let's try to put this fire out. No, it was pretty neat. And I really admire that, because a lot of people would have just took the whole day off. Right. And just like, okay, my family's here. But that's a true definition of it. He got an army of 4, 5, 6. He got 4 kids. 18 dogs, and a wife, and all that stuff. But more so, it's just a true. I just really appreciate him. Just like this, what he showed yesterday, and not just yesterday. That's just the recent example, more so just what dedication looks like. And he's really trying to get things done, like not just for himself, but for our business, his family, and what that looks like longevity wise. So thank you for that, by the way,
bro. Thank you. The feeling is 100% mutual, man. It's interesting when this isn't this may be kind of a good thing to bring about, because it looks like, just based on the comments, we have people that are looking for people to work with, people that are looking to squat up with people. And Chris and I'll kind of share the story real quick. Chris and I had the pleasure of speaking to a women's RIA earlier this week, and it was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, dude. Chris, would you agree? I mean, it was so amazing, man. Thank you, Shane and Zane, if you guys are watching. That was really an impactful event. It was really special for me, and Chris. And we got asked, how did we meet? And we met at Pace's house over some tacos. Maybe some of you guys have heard this story before, but I'll share it for the ones who haven't, and why it's kind of pertinent to what I'm going to talk about in terms of like partnerships and people to squat up with and work together. And we met at Pace's house over some tacos, and we just clicked. It was right then and there. It wasn't like, hey, what kind of dogs you have? Where you from? What kind of food are you into? Like we met, and then everybody else around us is like sipping margaritas and playing in the pool. And me and Chris were like all business, man. And I love that. And anyway, the very next day at this mastermind, Pace was telling a story. He's telling a story about a phone call he received from Brent Daniels one day. And Brent calls him up and he's like, Pace, I need you to get over to the office ASAP right now, do or die, 911. Pace's like, oh shit. So he hightails it over to Brent's house or Brent's office. Mm-hmm. And Brent had a handful of people there. You know, the huge Jamil was there, Jerry Norton was there, Pace was there, Jesse Burrell, like some of these other guys, right? That they all kind of run around with. And Brent told everybody, said, hey, I need to know what you are making in your business right now. I need to know what is in your bank account right now. How much cash is sitting in your wallet right now? That's a pretty tall order for somebody to sit there and ask. As a matter of fact, a couple people walked out. But everybody else who stayed, Brent went through and had that discussion with everybody. And then he said, hey, I want you to be making 25% more by this time next year, or you are out of the group. Now that's like, oh my gosh, talk about accountability. I mean, it's no longer you anymore. It's like, oh shit, if I don't perform, I'm out of the group text. I'm out. All these guys are growing without me. Now, that doesn't mean we're not friends, and it doesn't mean we're not going to go out to dinner and all the fun things, but you're out of the group text. And talk about just this crazy accountability. So what Pace was getting at by telling that story was that everybody, like that was Brent's board of advisors. That was Brent's people that he could go to at a higher level for higher accountability, and making sure that everybody is getting pushed, that everybody's staying consistent, that everybody's getting uncomfortable. There's a tighter partnership, a tighter brotherhood there. And he said, everybody in here needs to form your own board of advisors. As soon as he said that, no longer than half a second after he had finished that sentence, I looked right at Chris. I already knew. I was like, dude, this guy right here, I freaking know it. And so that very next, I don't know, probably like 20 minutes later, and then we went out on a break. And I approached Chris in the hall, and I was like, dude, I need you on my board of advisors, man. Like, I already know it. He's like, dude, hell yeah, I'm in. And after a couple months of us having regular weekly meetings, him and a handful of other people were on that board, and we just kind of stuck out. I think we both just kind of knew there was something that was unique, something that was special that was going on there. And it just goes to show, guys, because a lot of people, and this is true, I'm not trying to take away from what I'm about to say, but there's a lot of, I would say, what's the right word here? Misconceptions when it comes to partnerships. And what you should be looking for. Now, like I said, I want to be careful because this is true to an extent, but it's not exclusive. I thought this was exclusive. But you guys have probably heard the terms a visionary and an integrator. And usually, if you are one, you want to partner with the other, right? That makes sense. It's like building an entire business with nothing but closers. Closers don't like the paperwork. Closers don't want to do all the extra shit. You'll track the KPIs and build the systems and the automations and workflow and all that other kind of stuff, right? So kind of the same thing. Like you need that yin and your yang. But I just want to, yes, Daryl hit the nail on the head. It's from a book called Rocket Fuel. That I don't know if you call it ideology or whatever, but yeah, the concept rather of a visionary and an integrator, and then both you guys coming in and you're partnering, right? You have an integrator who's more or less behind the scenes. They are the backbone and they are the structure of building that business. They do the things like hiring and firing people. They are building the systems, the automations. They are skip tracing lists. They are doing all the automations, the workflow, everything, right? And then you have the visionary that's building that side of the business. The one that's building the relationships, bringing people into the business, calling agents, calling sellers, talking to other real estate investors, all that kind of stuff. So you got this yin and your yang, right? And it's interesting because Chris and I and our third business partner, Colin, we're all visionaries. So how does that work when you have 3 freaking visionaries? It comes back to this. This was a big piece that I feel like last year alone, I grew more in those 12 months than I did being in the Air Force for 14 years. Just individually, my communication skills, my ability to lead, to articulate things, to recognize when I'm wrong. I feel like I grew more in those 12 months than I did in 14 years in the military. And it's being surrounded by people like Chris and having partnerships with people like Chris, having a brotherhood, a bromance even with people like Chris. And it's something that is very near and dear and special to me. And it just goes to show that when you are aligned with the right people, that it doesn't matter what needs to get done, whether they are integrator responsibilities or whatever, we're all going to chip in. We're all going to do it for the success of each other. Because I know every day when I get up out of bed, when my alarm goes off at 3 a.m., my feet hit the floor. I'm doing this to put food on the table for Chris and his family and for Colin. And I know they're doing the same thing for me. And when it comes down to who needs to call this person, who needs to call the bank, the title company, the agent, the seller, whatever's got to be done, this is not going to be a big back and forth of, oh, well, I'm the visionary and you're the integrator, so this falls under your jurisdiction. So in closing, I just want to wrap that up. I just want to put that idea out there, just how important mindset is and being able to recognize that. And, I feel like Chris, Colin, and I have something that's very unique. And it just goes to show that you don't necessarily need to have these, you don't need to put yourself in a box if you're a visionary and just say, hey, guys, I'm looking for an integrator. An integrator is special. We're still looking for somebody to do a lot of the integrator stuff in our business because neither one of us know how to do it. But that's not a showstopper. That's not a, hey, you cannot move forward until you find this. Because there's a quote from Elon Musk. He said, if you give yourself 30 days to clean your house, you'll clean it in 30 days. If you give yourself 3 days, you'll clean it in 3 days. So it's all right here. And I've shared this before. And in closing real quick, I will share this quote again. It's one of my most favorites. Chris asked me to share it at the event that we spoke at last week. Or, I guess it was this week. But I'll share it with you real quick. There's a quote, Pace said it. And it was interesting because we're talking about being around the right people. And hearing what I'm about to tell you guys, if you guys haven't heard this before, it's so surreal. Sitting in a mastermind with all these high-level individuals and a higher-level mindset doing higher-level things. And you got to acknowledge that everything that's being said in that environment is freaking gold. And hearing that at that point in my life, being in that moment, in that room, in Phoenix, or Mesa rather, surrounded by those people, it hit me differently than it would have at any other time. If what I'm about to tell you guys, I just want to set this foundation real quick so you guys understand, because what I'm about to tell you is probably something you would see on a bumper sticker, and you probably wouldn't think twice about it. But just listening for it and having those types of things on your radar to acknowledge and be intentional with, those are the small things that are going to change your life, that are going to change your business, that are going to change your relationships. And Chris and I both know, especially after last year, nothing will impact your business more than the state of your relationships. Absolutely. Now, the quote is, now I got to pull this up, make sure I just don't butcher it. It's not who you think you are that's holding you back. Okay, let me repeat that one more time for the people in the back. It's not who you think you are that's holding you back. Now I'm going to pause right here, and I want everybody who's watching this or will be watching this to think about who you think you are right now. What does that entail? What does that look like? For me at the time, the person that I thought I was like, I'm a father. I'm a sibling. I am a son. I am a neighbor. I am a friend. I'm a good person, I think. I want to do good things. I want to build this business so I can retire my parents, so I can give back to my community, so I can help out my church, help out my kids at school, contribute more, right? Because hundreds of dollars helps hundreds of people. Thousands of dollars helps thousands of people. Millions of dollars helps millions of people. This isn't about the money. It's about the freedom. It's about the ability to spend time with your family and really spend your time the way that you choose. But we also want to be able to make money matter, to give back, to contribute, and do all these things. So I'm thinking about all of this as Pace is describing this. And so let me come back to this real quick. Hopefully you guys had a second to think about who you think you are. Just acknowledge that all those are good, and those are not the types of things that are holding you back. The fact you want to go and build and do all these things, that's not what's holding you back, guys. It's who you think you are not. That is exactly what's holding you back. If you don't think you're the type of person that can go and build a business doing 6 figures a month in a year or 6 months, whatever that looks like, that's literally the type of thinking that's holding you guys back. And I'll tell you right now, first and foremost, I was the first person to think, oh my gosh, there's no way. Truly, you have to be talking about 6 figures a year. Surely you can't be talking about 6 figures a month. What? So breaking some of these mental barriers, and that's why Chris and I, we really, really hound on mindset and making sure that everybody has a very strong foundational support when it comes to your mindset, because you have to first acknowledge that these things are possible. And those are the things that are holding you back. It's not who you think you are. It's who you think you are not. If you don't think that anybody would get value from the things you have learned or would like to share on social media, and so you don't share on social media, that robs everybody else the opportunity to learn something from you. That robs somebody else the opportunity to be able to reach out to you and for them to learn how to lead and how to serve others. So I just want to put those things out there. It's not just you, because in that same mastermind, there was an individual specifically that did not want to post on Facebook. I think the gentleman was in his early to mid 40s.
Correct.
And when asked why he didn't want to post what he was doing on social media, he said he didn't know what his friends from high school would think. Think about that for a second. Those people aren't paying your mortgage. Your friends from high school, they don't care what you're doing. Until they start seeing somebody doing something better than them, then they're going to have an issue with it. But guess what? When you start seeing that type of negativity, that is literally the universe pointing an arrow, like a sign in Vegas or something. Big flashy arrow saying, hey, this person does not align with what it is you're trying to do. Get them out. Get them out. And sometimes that includes even family.
Yep.
But you have to be so freaking intentional with acknowledging that and being able to say, hey, who I think that I'm not, and that's what's holding me back. That's why I'm not doing this. That's not why I'm reaching out. That's why I'm not posting on social media. That's why I'm afraid to call sellers, because I'm not that type of person. I don't know what to do. I don't want to fail. That's all part of the process. You have to fail. So anyway, I'm going to get off my soap opera, my soapbox now. But hopefully that gives you guys some ideas and some clarity. To make a long story long, I really appreciate Chris and his alignment and his brotherhood and everything that he does and he sacrifices, so I can go take my family out to Red Robin and go take my family bowling and do all these things. And so there's that reciprocating relationship, but it's all right here, guys. Literally, how you think about things literally will change your entire life. Simply how you think about relationships, how you think about being a friend, how you think about serving. Those are the type, how you think about money.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads into this next segue. I feel like we've been going live for 30 minutes now. So we were going to opportunity to kind of pivot and start talking more about creative finance. And in doing that, in case there's anybody else watching who maybe you're new to creative finance, I made a post on Facebook. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Could have been yesterday. About, oh man, I'm gonna have to go find it. I forgot what it was about. Never mind. Disregard that. I forgot where I was going with that now. I had a total brain fart.
No worries.
I forgot what we were talking about. Anyway, totally forgot where I was going with
No worries,
sorry,
man.
guys. But let's talk about creative finance. Is anybody in here doing creative finance or wanting to learn more about creative finance? Is anybody? I remember the first time. Let me share this story with you guys real quick. I remember the first time I ever heard about creative finance. I had a friend that I grew up with, and we hadn't talked in like 15 or 20 years. And we're getting reconnected over Facebook. And he's like, Jesse, have you ever thought about getting into real estate? And I was like, I don't know. I thought about getting my real estate license a few years ago. And he's like, no. I was like, I'm not talking about being a real estate agent. He's like, I'm talking about being an investor. I kind of gave him this long, sarcastic, like, oh, why didn't you say so? I don't know if you know anything about Alaska, man, but it's super expensive. You know, to go buy a fourplex here is your down payment is going to be 6 figures. I was like, bro, I don't got 6 figures just burning a hole in my pocket, so I can go buy a fourplex. Luckily, he was patient with me, and he was like, you know what? I've got a meeting with some other investors later in the week, a Zoom meeting. This was about this time in 2020. This was right when the pandemic was getting ready to start. And he's like, how about you just come in and be a fly on the wall? It's like, all right, well, beam me up, Scotty. So I went in and I jumped on it. And guys, if I'm being honest with you, if I'm being transparent with you, I freaking didn't even really care. Didn't even want to be there. I didn't want it to be weird because I just reconnected with my friend. If he's watching this, it's going to be funny. I didn't want it to be weird. So I jump in, I put myself on mute, turn my camera off. I'm just kind of playing games on my phone, half-assed listening. And then something interesting happened. I started hearing other people talking about making money. And making money while leveraging other people's money and other people's credit and other people's debt. And I was like, what? This sounds like a scam. I'm in. So anyway, that was kind of what started the rabbit hole to creative financing. And for me, that's been my entire foundation from day. I was already doing like creative stuff, and then I had to go back and I was like, oh, dude, what the hell? I keep hearing people talk about like house hacking. What the hell is house hacking? No idea what house hacking is. So it was interesting because it was kind of the opposite, probably from how most people start learning about investing and kind of beginner strategies. But that was kind of my initial dive into it. And Chris and I have done some really awesome. We got one deal in particular that we're going through right now that is going to be a book. And Chris, I think we should definitely do what's that called? A breakdown. It's not the word I'm looking
for. Deal overview.
Yeah. Basically, an overview.
Synopsis, maybe.
Yeah, we're dancing around it, but you guys get what we're trying to get at. But yeah, dude, that would be awesome. I mean, there's so many people involved with this one. It's just straight creative in so many ways, man. But let's kind of lead that into a segue right here, and let's talk more about creative financing. So if you guys got questions, if you guys got things that you're working
Angel
on,
hit it. There you go. Case study.
Gosh dang
there
it!
You go.
Thank you guys. Case study. That was the word that was escaping me. Thank you, Kaylee and Angel. I appreciate you guys. A case study. We were dancing around it, Chris. It's Saturday. It's been a long 48 hours. But let's talk about all things creative finance, guys. We got some really cool stuff going on. You know, me and Chris, we can talk about a couple of the recent things that we've done in creative finance, and you know, anything from free houses to wholesaling creative finance, the whole shebang, man. It's pretty dope.
So just to answer this 1 second, Jesse, I'm sorry. DR, yes, 100%. I finally saved it. I could not get it download from my computer, but I finally saved it. So I'll definitely, if you want, just call me right after and I can shoot that over to you. So I got it to actually.
Oh, dude, tell the story real quick. Tell the story.
Yes, absolutely. So more so, there was a lead that was a young lady reached out to me specifically about a lead or potential deal that she wanted to take down. She was the buyer. She had several conversations with the seller, and it just, they was ready to move forward, right? They're ready to move forward. They wanted to move forward at $74,000 down on this property. The seller name is Justin, and before I would get into Justin, but more so $74,000, the buyer was ready to put down. The buyer reached out to me specifically to say, hey, this is a scenario. I'm not for sure how to move forward, but the seller wants to talk to someone who's familiar with creative finance and what the overall process looked like taking over a subject too. So I said, no worries. I said, during the middle of the conversation, I said, are you okay putting $74,000 down? She said, no, not really. And I said, well, let me ask you specifically, is this $74,000 including renovations? Is it including closing costs? No, none of it. $74,000, that was just going directly to the seller.
Now, did that buyer, was she under the impression that the 74 grand was the entry fee?
Yes. She was under pressure, which that actually goes into an actual entry fee. Guys, you really got to understand exactly what your entry fee is, and that includes acquisition, assignments, holding costs, closing costs. All that plays a big factor. Renovations. If you don't have all those key parts, that's not an entry fee. Just by saying I need $74,000 down, that's just payment to the seller. So after I broke that down to her, and I told her specifically that she's probably ended probably $90, $96, $97,000. And I said, are you okay paying that? And then she said, not really, but if I have to, I will. And it's because she had two other partners who are females, and they're all new to the real estate. So it's going to be 3 females taking this property and mentally already preparing to pay $74,000 just to the seller, not including closing costs, agent fees, or anything like that, right? So in the middle of the conversation, I said, I feel like we're missing a little bit, a little bit of context from the seller side of things. And he said, no, the seller just wants to move forward, but he just wants to clarity of what this looks like because he never did a subject to transaction. I'm like, okay, no problem. Let's call him now. And she said, wait, right now? I said, yes, let's call him right now. I said, call him right now. She said, are you sure? I said, just give me the number. So she finally gave me the number, and then we called him. And then she said, before we called her, she said, do you want me to speak? I said, and mentally, she gauged the conversation where she said, Chris, the guy just wants to overview of what the process looks like. But I said, how about this? You just do a small introduction, tell him I'm your business partner, and I'll take it from there. So she did that intro, stated I'm a business partner. I'm actually going to be, explaining the process, what that looks like. And so initially, I was just going to play the guy like, hey, I'm just behind the scenes, I just want to get a better understanding. But soon as this seller started communicating and talking, I knew for a fact what kind of seller he was. his articulation, his communication about finances, just overall aspect, he's extremely savvy. So now I got to change my concept of what I thought I knew and mirror his conversation. So conversation instantly changed from, the guy behind the scenes to, okay, now I got to take this bull by the horns and take lead, because this guy's know what the hell he's talking about. There's no BS in him around. Get straight to the point and understand exactly what he's looking for. So during that conversation, Jason got to know me a little bit. He brought his wall down just slightly, and I specifically asked him, I said, how much are you looking to walk away from this? Like, how much equity are you looking to walk away with? He told me $100,000. He wanted $100,000, and so it didn't add up to me where $74,000 to the seller, but $100,000 you're looking to walk away with. Something's not adding up. So, and I said, well, I'm looking at my notes right here, and I said, and maybe you can refresh my memory. Just, I'm looking at a $74,000, down payment to you, and I said, is that, how is the agents getting paid? So I'm like asking all these specific things, because I just need to understand, one, how the paperwork is going to be drawn up, and two, everyone need to get paid in this transaction, right? So we got to make sure everyone understands exactly what that looks like. So I'm asking pinpointed questions, and it just got to a point where I really, really had to make him understand, like, $74,000 doesn't make sense. Now, during this conversation, little backstory, the lady is texting me the whole time and questioning me, like, what I'm doing. Now, I could have responded back to her. I said, just watch me, or not just watch me, just see how I'm going to end it, or what that looks like specifically. But she's texting me, say, hey, I already told you this. I already told you this. I already told you. Yes, she's 100% right. She already told me all the information that, he stated. I need to reconfirm this and make sure we're on the same page, or even the same ballpark. So I'm reconfirming a lot of different things, and glad I did reconfirm, because a lot of different things change. Like, for instance, like on a hypothetical, I can call a seller. He may tell me one thing. Jesse may call a seller, same seller, tell him another thing, and so on and so on. So you got to constantly, reconfirm a lot of information. But fast forward, I'm having a conversation with Jason, and Jason specifically wanted $2,500 a month. He wanted $2,500 a month, $74,000 down payment. And I believe the interest was 6 or 7%. I can't remember, 6 or 7%.
Gosh, dang.
So, but that'd be, 100%, Jesse, because initially they was going to move forward at those numbers. They was going to move forward. And once I hopped on the phone with Jason and explained, I said, well, Jason, let's just break down the numbers together. I said, you're looking for $74,000. Okay, let's write it down. So I'm like writing this down and walking it through. I said $74,000. Okay, let's move past that. So I said, how much are you looking for a month? He said 25. And then I said, well, how much is coming in on, like, because it's a duplex? And he said, I think $1,350 or $1,325 each side. So about $2,700. And I said, okay, you got $2,700. You're looking for $2,500. Where do I make money? And literally, he got quiet. The seller got quiet. He said, well, you look like you really you can't make any money. And I said, so how do we proceed? Like, how do we proceed? Like, in my head, it's not a deal. And I knew where I was going. That's why when she was texting me, I wasn't responding back, because I wasn't trying to mess up her deal. I'm trying to get her a better deal. That's the end goal. Get her a better deal.
Right.
And
so she was blowing up your phone, not knowing what you were trying to do. She was
absolutely
saying, hey, don't kill this. Don't kill this. Don't kill this.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And so Jason even said, so I believe he asked me specifically, he said, what was a balloon or something like that? What balloon payment can you do? And I said, typically we do 7 to 10 years, but depending on the situation, we got a lot of projects going on. We can probably do something a little bit sooner, but just the way the market is right now, it's pretty, unstable. I said, we prefer to be comfortably at 10 years. And then he said, okay, 7. He said, can we do 7? I said, yeah, that's not a problem. So I said, so I just want to confirm. a couple of things. So there's going to be no monthly payments to you, because we need the cash flow. I said, there's no monthly payments. There's going to be a 7-year balloon. Again, I want you to understand, there's going to be no monthly payments for 7 years on a balloon. No monthly payments at all. And the $74,000, because I asked him how much equity you're looking to get, right? He said $100,000. And he said, just the way he was communicating, I know he didn't need the money. He only wanted that much money down because the report was not built from the young lady who reached out to me, and he didn't trust her. So that's why he wanted so much up front. It got to a point where now he doesn't want a single dollar down. A single dollar. He doesn't want a single dollar down. And I kid you not, $74,000 that she was going to put, brought it down to her entry fee, all in more so, just closing costs. She already did the closing costs was 2,600. I'm sorry, it was like 2,900 for closing costs, and then the referral fee that she's going to pay out, and then also the agent fee. So it's going to be a total of $14,000. Imagine paying $14,000 versus almost 90 something $1,000. That's a big difference. And that's where I was trying to gauge the conversation. And I wasn't trying to mess up her deal. I forgot this PG-13. I'm not going to curse or anything. PG, I said PG. My end goal is I knew what I was trying to do, right? And Jason, the way he was communicating, he has several other properties. He's a property manager. He's an investor. He actually owns a couple of different commercial things, and specifically, you have to know what kind of investor you're talking to. You can't BS sometimes people like that. You can't try to, baby them. Those kind of individuals, they want numbers straight to the facts and call it a day. You don't got time just to be, oh, maybe this is work. No, this is going to work or it's not. It's black or white. There's no gray areas. So long story short, it got down to $0, down to no money to the seller for a down payment, no money for a monthly. It literally, he would receive all his equity at the 7-year mark. And he probably received it sooner, especially in the market that is where it's at. He would receive it sooner, but more so, he just needed credibility. And a lot of people don't understand what really rapport is. Rapport is not, as Jesse stated earlier, it's not cats, dogs, and getting to know your, whatever that specifically may look like, is really based on credibility. And that's where everything relates back to it. So that's more so of a longer story of it. But yes, I would definitely get that recording over to you, Daryl, right away. I probably can't remember the interest rates, but the interest rate is now, oh, by the way, there's no interest. Interest.
This is why it's so important to freaking squat up. There's so many people out there that think that negotiating is coming in and just throwing a lowball offer out. But Chris, based on your experience and the tonality and everything in this conversation, do you think right off the bat, if you would have been like 74 grand, no, like one of the first things you guys talked about is, hey, I can do 10 grand down right now. Like, what would he have done? It just come in and throw out some lowball offer without building any sort of credibility or talking to him or anything like that. Like, what would have happened?
It would have been a different conversation. It's just the total different conversation, because initially, I know for a fact if I would just say, hey, we can only give $10,000, transparently, he probably would have took it, right? If I was having that conversation, or Jesse was having that conversation. I heard Jesse on the phones. I know for a fact he can communicate very well on these phones. It relate to 99% of these sellers. I don't know how you do it, but he can relate to 99% of the sellers. Don't matter what topic it is. It could be about damn bottled waters. They're gonna relate some kind of way. But I don't. I'm still learning that tool. But more so, it gears back to just experience, more so experience, and just more conversation. I'm not saying Jesse or I are better than anyone. It's just more so we talk. We just communicate on the phone on a daily basis, right? We have those conversations. We have those how should I say, uncomfortable. We just get uncomfortable every day. If you don't want to do it, do it. It got to a point, I won't ever forget it, from literally who was it? What was it? Robert G. Allen. That was the day, I kid you not, I was scared. I was so scared to hop on the phone to talk to anyone due to the fact of I didn't like the way my voice sound. I don't like the way I communicate. I don't like talking to people. What if they say this? What if they say that? And it got to a point where when Robert, I won't ever forget that when Pace brought him into the Zoom, he told us specifically, how much money are we losing facing fears? Like, truly, how much money was I really losing thinking like I had a to-do list? I got to call 14 people today. Oh, I'll just push that on tomorrow. I'll just push that on to the next day. And it got to a point where you keep pushing, and I'm still in the same place. 6 months. Why? After Robert said that, I kid you not, next day, I didn't give a damn if I effed up or not. I was going to hop on the phone and make it happen. It just, We just had more conversations, and it became natural. And I realized, why the hell I'm using a script? Just be yourself, have a conversation. Jesse and I tell people all the time, just literally have a conversation with the seller. It will go a long way versus reading off a script, going word from word. Oh, what is the condition of the property? No, we're not looking for that. Let's get a backstory. Let's see if there's a solution we can actually solve here. Well, a problem that we can solve here. And it just is, I think it's so backwards. It's great to have a script. Don't get me wrong. People who use scripts is fine. Use it as a guideline, but don't read word from word to sound like a robot, and just be yourself. But I guess to make a long story long, Jesse just
No,
that's what happened with the story,
dude. Like all the details and everything, so people get the full picture, man. That was great.
Terry, I just saw your comment about PA. So I will be in Pennsylvania for a week, Monday to Sunday. Like this Monday to Sunday. I'm not for sure what part, but yes, we're buying very heavily in Pennsylvania as well. And the guys, you already know we buy in all 50 states, but I'm going to check on one of my projects. They're supposed to be finished. The deadline is the 27th. From the pictures, it looks amazing. I'll probably throw some content and whatever that may look like. Maybe go live when I get there at the property and see exactly what that looks like. But yeah, I will be in Pennsylvania. So if you guys want to meet up or whatever that may look like, or want to meet me at the property, please let me know. Please let me know. And Angel, we did not overlook your comment. Congratulations on another contract was just sent out. Phenomenal job on that one.
This is a bell. This isn't like a weird gesture or something. Like this is you see Jesse randomly doing this, man. Just I'm ringing that metaphoric, that symbolic bell right there, man.
Look at that. She's killing it. Amazing. I'm actually like kind of pissed you're not sending us the deals. Like, can we buy it? Like, what's going on with these deals?
That is true. Yeah. That is like, true, Angel.
That is funny. Oh, let's see what we have here. So we have yep, perfect. Yep. 100%. Jesse and I, we're straight to the point. We don't want to be around the bush. We're very clear on exactly what we're looking for and talking to sellers. Jesse's very good at this one. I'm probably going to butcher this specific line, but more so, he's very good at communicating with the seller and letting them know, like, do we even waste our time going, like, giving you a call back and having a conversation, but we're not in the same ballpark. And I'd probably just butcher that, but along those lines, he's very good at making those statements because Jesse time is valuable, right? He don't want to call back and then also we're going back and forth playing phone tag. And no, we're going to decide on this specific call if this is a good fit. Why waste our time? So, but no, Angel, you're amazing. This is true, 100%. That's why we luckily to be surrounded around you. You're fucking amazing. I just curse. I'm probably gonna get canceled, or I'm not even a thing.
Well, this is the last show, dude. It's like. Let me be clear. I don't want to just leave. We're for those of you who didn't catch it, we're transitioning to a new podcast. It's no longer going to be the Elephant Show. So we're kind of taking a more tailored and intentional route with it. So just want to make sure that wasn't misconstrued. So it's almost like walking out on the last day, though, of work. You can throw F-bombs out, you can throw papers out, you can go kick people. So your boss were to shove it.
Where do you find your PA buy box? Where do we find it? I don't have a this is a great question. We literally get access all the time. This is from Kevin. Let me try to find a spot like that. There you go, Kevin. Where do we find your PA buy box? In my head. That's exactly where it's at. That is exactly where it's at. More so that's I can create one, but more so that can change. That can change. The reason I say that specifically because myself and Jesse, we buy all over, right? In all 50 states. Literally in all 50 states. And if we do create a buy box, we're gonna be limited to a lot of things, right? Because a lot of people like maybe on this hypotheticals. Somebody might like a corner lot, 3-bed, 2-bath. It's got to be facing a certain way. It's got to be a pink or purple door, green door, whatever that may look like, and that literally limits a lot of different things. So initially, I don't have a buy box transparently for PA. I really don't, because initially, right now I have 5 doors. Right, I got the triplex, I got 2 single families, and it just transparently, I never wanted to be that guy that owned long-term rentals. I was always the Airbnb guy, and well, meaning like I always wanted to be Airbnb. Like I wanted to have 8 to 12 Airbnbs in Hollywood, Florida. I wanted to have this, and this, and just the fact of if I did create that specific buy box at the time, I probably wouldn't have these properties right now. So I hope that makes sense. More or less. Sorry, I can't present that buy box to you, but but if you want to, feel free to reach out. We can have that conversation. Reach out to Jesse. We can have the we all can hop on a call and see what that looks like specifically. So I know we kind of drifted a little bit. Is it still going to be on Saturdays? Yes, it's still going to be on Saturdays. We may change I think it's gonna be the same time, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. I think it's still be the same time. It's just more so like as Jesse stated in the beginning, we're going to be launching our new Facebook group. We're going to be launching our new podcast. We're going to be launching a lot of new things related, because we want to put everyone in one central location and have everyone had the ability to really like work with each other. Not because I see like right now we're streaming like in 8 different locations. Facebook, YouTube primarily, and also we have StreamYard Live. So that's all different. So some comments you guys can't see. So I want to answer this one real quick.
Yeah, do.
Facebook user Chris, I know Jesse, you want to tell him about the Facebook user, or do I got to say
it? No, this is the last one. Anything
goes.
Okay. Last one.
Okay, so Facebook user, Chris, on a wrap, do you still do the 20% of the monthly payment to set aside for extra? I'm assuming you're talking about the conversation. I'm assuming from the women's real estate group that Jesse and I just spoke at.
That's what I was.
We talked about 20. I'm thinking we talked about long-term rentals and how we actually assess that and underwrite it. So, do we still use the 20% on the wrap? Wraps are a little bit different, because I won't be owning the property. So that war chest is not for me on that 20% rule. And Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong on this more so, because once you find the wrap buyer moves into the property, they're responsible for everything. We're the middleman collecting the cash flow. So if the yep, 100%. So we're the bank. So if the payment to the monthly payment is $2,000, and that new wrap buyer is paying $2,500, Jesse and I make $500 a month, but we have no responsibility to that property. And all that wrap buyer will be taking care of the utilities, mowing the lawn, doing shoving the driveway and all that good stuff. Like, so I think your question more so is probably geared to like long-term rentals, or more so some kind of subject to deal, more so underwriting. But more so when it comes to wrapping, to answer your initial question, I want to say no, I don't, because there's no need to take in consideration of anything.
There isn't like a blueprint or anything. Don't forget that 20% is being set aside for vacancies and repairs.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
It's a different type of buyer. You don't have somebody that's renting it on a wrap. So they are the end buyer. It is their property. So you're not going to have vacancies. If you want to take like what you could do, and what we do is we'll take like, let's say we actually, Chris, gosh dang, dude, we got like 4 properties just yesterday alone. And I think we're going to be wrapping like 3 of them. And so let's say on one of them, I think the down payment was like $38,000, if I remember right, 38,880 or something. Maybe I threw too many 8s in there, but $38,000. If you want to set aside $5,000, $7,000, or whatever, just in the event that the seller stops making payments and you have to foreclose on them and get the house back, you have that money already set aside. So if you're getting $38,000 down from a wrap and you want to set aside $5,000, $7,000, or whatever, just boom. I'm just putting this in my war chest in the event that I ever have to take this property back, and I've got to repaint it or whatever, so I can turn around and resell it again or recarpet it. You can definitely do that. But like Chris said, it's a different buyer. They're not renting it. And typically when you have, that's one of the pros of doing a wrap is it's not a tenant, but it's a different type of individual, right? You have people who want to be homeowners. You have people who take pride in what they're doing. Even with like lease options, from a technical standpoint, they are not the owner. They are leasing that property with an option to purchase after a year or 5 years or whatever that 3 years, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And so even though they're leasing that property, they're a tenant. They are still in the mindset of this is my house, and they're doing a lease option with you so that they can become the homeowner. So you'll have a lot of people that'll come in and they'll start repainting the house. They'll want to add, and they'll pay for all of this. They'll put flooring in the house. They will landscape the property because it's a different type of individual. So I just wanted to, probably a little bit long-winded, but wanted to really hammer down on the differences between an end buyer on a wrap and a tenant when you're renting a property.
Absolutely. That's good to see you, Emily. Haven't spoke to you in a while. We need to catch up. We definitely got to catch up. Chris, I have an older woman who will benefit from monthly payments because she has no income. What else can you suggest to help her feel comfortable? Property has no mortgage. Said she can be the bank. Well, we need to hop on the phone because we can make that happen today. If she's looking, if she's looking to move forward, 100%, we can make that happen. We can give her cash flow on a monthly basis. We'll take over that property. We literally be the responsible. Well, we'll do anything and everything she needs to, just to make her feel comfortable. However, she can't stay in the property. We can't make. However, that's the caveat there. She can't stay in the property and expect us to pay. We gotta get an asset that performs, and she has to understand that in order for her to be the bank, we need to have an asset performing. So, but yeah, we 100% can have that conversation. She wants to move. Let's jump on a call. What are we waiting for?
Chris, I'm glad that you brought that up, though, man. Can you touch on that a little bit more? Because I've had other people ask me that same question as well. Well, why can't I just turn around and rent it to the homeowner? Like, why can't they do that? Even if they say they're willing to do that.
So even if the seller or homeowner's husband, wife, whether they say, "Oh yeah, I can stay in the place, I'll rent," whatever that dollar amount may look like, right? You don't do that. As the rule of thumb, you never rent back the house you buy from, due to the fact they in this situation for a reason, right? How do we know that you're going to make the payments? We don't. You just not saying they're they maybe had hard times. They probably in a better space, but why in your mind even think to go through that in the future, right? And sometimes they may become squatters. They may say, "Okay, yes, we're going to do this," and all of a sudden, you may not. The day of closing, you may not hear from them ever again. They block their number, they change their number, and now they become squatters. In some states, there's squatter rights. They may get the house back, and you just paid whatever you paid. But more so, you never want to have a homeowner. You never want to rent back to the homeowner. Period.
100%. Yeah.
It's not a good taste. Unless the only way I would do it, unless when we're at the closing table and there's a specific amount of like on a hypothetical, let's do even number $10,000. So if the seller wants $10,000, we can have it credited. So they won't receive that dollar amount until they officially prove that they have a lease in place with the next place, or can show some kind of evidence that they already moved. That's when they receive that. We actually did this over in Texas. We did this over in Texas with Scott Horn, where it literally was actually $24,000. The guy wanted, we gave him $1,000 at the closing escrow, but he said he wanted 3 weeks to move. We gave $1,000 because get the moving truck and all that good stuff, but more so he's not going to receive the rest of $23,000 until he's officially at the house, and all parties know. So it all depends how you look at it. But to answer your initial question, would I ever rent back? No, not at all. Not at all. And she wants to move. Yes, we should be on a 3-way call right now with you, Jesse, and myself.
Yeah, reach out to Chris and let's line that up for sure.
Absolutely. So I know we deviated a little bit, but more so, I want to just touch back on it. Jesse started talking about other people's money. As far as OPM, as they say, like raising capital and all that good stuff, like not utilizing your own money. So in real estate, a lot of people, as Jesse mentioned prior, that they think you need to have a license to get into real estate. You don't. I personally don't. Excuse me. I don't have a license. Jesse don't have a license. We're investors. We're creative investors at that, and we're in the right. We're in the right place, I should say. And I'm just going to leave it at that, as far as the right place. But when it comes to investing without your own money, you have to network. You have to get out there. You have to literally start raising money. And people always say, "Well, how do you do that?" Well, that's a great start. You're asking how, but a lot of people have a poor mindset, and or another terminology is a lazy mindset, right? They have a lazy mindset due to the fact that they think they can't, or they never can really afford it. I hear a lot of people on the daily, "Oh, I can't afford that." Or if I have a conversation with someone I haven't had in a while, they specifically tell me, "Oh, I can never afford that," or "Oh, that's too much. That's too much to do that." Or it's the poor mindset. If you
It goes
change the
back to
specific,
who you think you're not.
100%, 100%. If you change those specific things, and the reason I say lazy or poor mindset, because that relates back to being comfortable. You're comfortably lazy, and you don't want to change it, because when you start thinking that you possibly could do it, it becomes uncomfortable. Then you go back to that lazy mindset, and a lot of people don't understand that. If you keep thinking that, you're going to stay there. I, Jesse and I are not going to stay with you, but you're going to stay there. And we're going to continue to grow, and we want everyone else to be around us. And there's only so much we can do, right? There's only so much we can, we can guide, we can coach, we can train, we can develop, we can do all the great stuff, and we know we can be amazing leaders. But at the same time, you got to want to change for yourself. And if you hang around the same people on a daily basis who's constantly tell you can't do it, you're going to be there in a year from now to having that same conversation. I won't be with you, but you will be in a year, 2 years, 3 years, having that same conversation, like, "Oh, I can't," or "I can't do this," or "That's too much." If that's too much, that should be a motivation. And then next year you just say, "Oh, that's nothing." A couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I thought, three, four, $500. I thought that was expensive as hell. But nowadays it's nothing. Like real estate, that's pennies, right? And going into real estate, it's a different ball game. And just the mindset, as Jesse stated, like I think he said 12 months changed. Like he learned a lot, and he changed and all good stuff. Like literally, we're learning on a daily basis. We're truly learning on a daily basis as far as what the ins and out, not just for real estate, but more so growing and really trying to understand exactly what success looks like, because everyone has a true definition of success. Your definition of success may be having $50,000 in your account, or somebody else's success may be having $500,000 in their account. So whatever level of success it looks like, change your verbiage. Not having a lazy mindset, or a poor mindset, however you want to perceive that. It's just more so, if you change the little things of "I can" and "I will" versus "I can't," or I'll never do this, or "I'll never do that." That's not true. That's not true. Jesse and I had an amazing conversation with this young lady in this women's group on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday. I don't know. Thursday. I don't know. The days all mashed up together.
I know, dude. I didn't even know it was the Super Bowl a week or two ago, whenever it was.
And she was at a point where she stated she hate her job. She hate her job. You can hear it in her tonality. She hate her job. And she had she was so privy to, she can't. It's going to take her 3 or 5 years to even get out of that job she hates. And Jesse and I had a conversation with her where I know for a fact she can change that within 3 months, 6 months, if she really set her mind to it. And a lot of people don't understand, like, they don't believe that. That is, we're true witnesses of this. Like, I don't want anyone to think that Jesse and I just came from just money. I don't want people to think that. We understand, what that looks like, and how it could be tough. And it just, I want people to understand, like, we're coming from experience. We're not just coming from like a spoon fed. Oh, here's this, go work with it more. So it's just, we really worked hard for what we're doing and what we're trying to go to and all that good stuff. It just changed the mindset. We just literally aligned as far as ourself, myself, Jesse and Colin. It just got to a point where if you're around the right people who have the right mindset, you make a ton of money. And if you want to make a lot of money, go after bigger problems. Go after bigger problems. You have bigger checks. If you go after small ones, you have small checks. Transparent. That's the truth. And Jesse and I, we're all in between, and with so many different obstacles, and even it's great and laughed about. I laugh about it on a daily basis, and I reflect on a lot of different things as far as what was going on with our business, and just there's obstacles, right? There's obstacles. You just got to push through them, and these are great obstacles because you want these things to happen. You want I hate to say it like this, but you really want these things to happen so you know how to prevent it from next time. And people sometimes will literally give up. People, the little hiccup, the obstacle we're going through, one of these situations, people would have gave up. But no, every day we're pushing. We know there's going to get to the finish line. We know for a fact it's going to get done. It's just the fact of this is a learning curve. That is all it is. So I know we went out of our time, but I just wanted to mention that about, just change your mindset. Just always think that you can. Don't think you can't or never can do this. If you want to have a big house built from the ground up, you can have that. Stop saying you can't or it won't. It's not for you. Yes, it is. It's for everyone that's currently is live and or it's going to watch it in the future. It's for everyone. So I just want to say, thank you all for being here more so. And Jesse and I truly, truly appreciate you. It's gonna be a lot of not just content that we're gonna be posting, but guys, if you are in PA, I would love to meet up with you next week. I'll be at the Triplex, checking on the renovation and all that good stuff. It should be completed by literally Monday. And I'm actually going to see 2 other properties there while I'm there. Also, guys, looking for our Facebook page, our Facebook group page, and also we're probably going to, I'm not for sure when we're going to officially launch it, probably Monday or Tuesday next week, early next week. We just got to make sure everything's put together correctly, so you guys have access to everything, and then everything is in one centralized location, because we really want everyone working with everyone, squatting up, making money together, and just being amazing individuals that you are. Back to you, Jesse.
I got nothing, bro. I think that's a great note to end on, man. I know we were originally going to talk a lot about creative finance and have some case studies in there today, but I hopefully you guys got value out of some of the things we've talked about today in terms of partnership and intentionality and breaking some of those thought processes, or some of those generational curses that a lot of us have, and that we grew up with, and they stick with us. And it's crazy how something so minute as simply just how we think about and perceive money, or how we think about and perceive risk. And from just a little kid, well into our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 80s, and beyond. It's interesting. So, that's one thing that Chris and I, we really, really try to hammer down on a lot of that stuff. So if you guys aren't where you want to be in your business right now, if you're maybe some of you guys are still looking for your first deal, guys, listen, this is what Chris and I, like our intention, our entire intention of our new podcast, the group, everything like that is catered for that. The things that we're doing. Like I feel like Chris said, we're doing a lot, but we're not wanting to work. I mean, I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth. we're wanting to work with everybody, but it doesn't matter whether it's your first deal or your 10,000th deal. We want to make sure that you have the resources, the confidence, and know that, hey, Chris and I are available. We'll make ourselves available to help you guys in whatever faucet that looks like. So please really don't just acknowledge that if you're not where you want to be, the things that are holding you back is who you think you are not. So if nothing else, if you get nothing else from today, please just acknowledge that. And when you get off of this Zoom, when you end this, be intentional with those things that are keeping you from thinking, I'm not this person, or I can't do this, or this is like 5 years down the road or something like that, you don't reach out to us. Squat up in the people in the comments. You guys have to be so stinking intentional. I cannot stress it enough. Anytime you jump into a Zoom, anytime you jump into a meeting later in the week, whether that's in person or virtual, whatever that looks like, be intentional with it. Write down some of the things. Take inventory. I posted a thing on Facebook. I think it was yesterday as well. And I said something to the tune of, what are some of your biggest failures so far this year? And what have you learned from them? And there was a gentleman in there. I don't remember his name, but he said, it's only March. And it's interesting. I just want to use that to showcase that you're exactly right. It's only March. What a blessing to be taking inventory of this so early in the year so that we can make this pivot. We can understand what's working and what's not working. If you're not where you are, like I said, nothing will impact you more than the state of your relationships.
Yep, 100%.
So 100%. If you're not where you are, look at where the state of your relationships are. Take inventory of that. Acknowledge that, hey, maybe that's an avenue in my business or in my life that is not working right now. So I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to give you an action item. I'm going to give you an action step that you can take today, literally right now, as soon as we end this, and set yourself up for next week and 2 weeks and 3 weeks and next month and the next months and for the rest of the year if you'll stay consistent with it. And that is this. And this is something that Chris and I learned at a high level last year. This isn't something we've been doing. Everything that Chris and I learned and we take inventory of, we're trying to pass that on to anybody else. So let me share this with you guys, and hopefully you get some value from it, and it'll give you somewhere to start. Go create a Calendly account. Now, some of you might be wondering, maybe you didn't hear that right. Calendar. It's called Calendly, like calendar, but calend and then L-Y. Calendly. Okay, go create a Calendly account. And basically what that is it's a personalized calendar that you can tailor based on your schedule. So maybe you guys have a 9 to 5. Maybe you get off work at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And you're like, hey, I've got between 4 and 9 p.m. to work on my business. I'm just using this as an example. And you can create a Calendly account and say, hey, you know what? I want to meet up and touch base, and I would love to build relationships with more people. I'm going to make myself available from 4:30 or from 4:30 to 5 when I get off work, and then maybe again from 5 to 5:30. So you have 2 30-minute windows right there that you can book out Monday through Friday, just as an example. And now you've got 2 people that you're meeting between 4 and 5 every single day. That's 10 to 12 people a week. That's over 40 people a month. So think about that for a second. 40 people a month. What would you do with 40 new freaking relationships every single month? I've seen a couple comments in here talking about lending. Do you need money in your business? Perfect. Get in there and be intentional. Those are the types of things Chris and I are talking about. Take some of the things we're talking about, write them down, however simplistic they are, just like that story I shared with you at the mastermind. It's not who you think you are that's holding you back. It's who you think you are not. I would actually dare say that probably went over the heads of probably the majority of the people in that mastermind. But I took it and I was intentional with it, and gosh dang it, I grew so much from it last year. I made so much money from just that phrase and who it came from. Now, I'm not saying that you got to listen to every single word we're saying, but I'm just telling you to come in here, be intentional with your time. If you're going to jump into a Zoom meeting or go meet up with somebody in person, take a second before you do that. Write down those things that's missing in your business, and write down the things that you would like to happen coming out of either a Zoom meeting. Maybe it's a question you need answered. Maybe it's a relationship that you need. Write that down and be intentional with your freaking time. So I'll leave you guys with that. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys sincerely. I can't tell you enough how much Chris and I appreciate you guys coming in here and just spending some of your time with us. So hopefully we acknowledge that. Hopefully you guys are getting value from it, because that's our intention behind it. We don't want you guys coming here if you guys don't feel like you're getting value from it. If you feel like you're wasting your time.
I agree.
So
I agree.
The fact that you guys are, we really sincerely and humbly appreciate it. 100%. Thank you.
Yes, Emily, I just received your text, and Super Mario, you're amazing. We're super grateful for you as well, man. More than you know. But yes, Emily, I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna get with Jesse, and let's make that happen. And then you may be the first one on our new podcast to explain the deal overview.
Ooh, that would be super dope. I like that.
But no, appreciate you guys very much for watching. Again, we're going to be streaming different. We're streaming right now in different locations, but we're going to go to one centralized location next week. If not, we'll go live and let you guys know exactly where that location is going to be. But more so specifically, we want everyone to be in one centralized location so everyone can actually communicate with everyone and work with everyone, so everyone know what that looks like. James, Jesse and I could talk about that. We can see exactly when we're going to go to New Mexico. When do you want to go to New Mexico? When are we going to make that happen?
Get me out of winter ASAP as possible. So I'm ready to go to New Mexico tomorrow.
Okay. Make it happen. Let's make it happen. But guys, appreciate you guys. You guys have a great one. Please reach out if you guys have any questions, concerns, wherever that may look like. Our website is thirdmindrei.com. It's going across the screen. I'll do it in the chat as well. And Jesse just got that Lodge Finance. There you go. Congrats.
That's my bell. Somebody's gonna look at this with their audio turned down because they're like at a funeral or something where people can't see, and they're gonna see Jesse doing this and like, man, this went from a PG rated thing. This is getting really weird. Cool, man, dude. David is freaking. This guy's a badass. We're doing some Turo stuff. I'm excited, dude. Congrats, man. That's great news.
All right, guys. Until next time, have a good one.